Let's remain calm and civilized, everyone. I'm not intervening because I want to stop all of you from fighting over the pill. I simply don't want to see the other 8 high zenith pills destroyed just for this single one, Luo Qinghai hurriedly explained. Oh? Are you saying that there are as many as 9 high zenith pills in that cauldron? Feng Qiandu asked as he raised an eyebrow. That's right. If I'm not mistaken, this pill refinement cauldron should be the 9 jewel-bearing dragons cauldron, an incredible cauldron that always produced 9 pills per batch, 1 out of each dragon's mouth. However, the pills won't emerge all at once, so we should wait until all 9 are ready, Luo Qinghai explained. Now that you mention it, I also recall hearing about this cauldron. It's said that countless years ago, an almighty figure once gathered many precious natural treasures of the true immortal realm, as well as the souls of true spirits to refine a pill cauldron of incredible power, and it contains some type of law power that allow pill refinement ingredients to combine with one another in a more harmonious fashion. I certainly wasn't expecting to see it here, the elderly woman mused. Everyone's expression eased slightly upon hearing this, but a hint of greed had surfaced in their eyes as they turned their attention to the pill cauldron. That brings up another problem then. There are 10 of us here right now, yet only 9 high zenith pills. So how are we going to split them? Feng Qiandu mused with a contemplative expression. As soon as this point was raised, everyone immediately tensed up once again. That's not a problem. I already said that I've only entered the Infernal Frost Immortal Palace on this occasion to broaden my disciples' horizons, and that objective has already been achieved. In light of that, our vast flow palace will only claim 1 pill, so that evens things out perfectly. Luo Qinghai said with a smile. Everyone was very surprised and befuddled to hear this. Right at this moment, the golden light barriers around the pill cauldron suddenly faded, and a golden humanoid puppet suddenly stepped around from behind the pill cauldron, then reached out to grab the silver pill that had flown out of the dragon's mouth, before turning back around and making its way the large golden chair. Everyone was rather perplexed to see this, but they still followed the golden puppet nonetheless. Right at this moment, a vast cloud of black mist suddenly emerged, then swept over everyone in a wave. It was as if everyone had suddenly been sucked into an extremely viscous swamp, and not only was their mobility significantly hampered, even their immortal spiritual power circulation had been slowed down significantly. The same applied to Han Li, but the time law powers in his body weren't affected at all. Bright azure light emerged over his body as he channeled his time law powers to force out the surrounding black mist, and as he turned to look behind himself, he discovered that the source of the viscous black mist was none other than Feng Qiandu. Plumes of black qi were surging out of his body, forming a black spirit domain that had trapped everyone inside. The black spirit domain was extremely dense, but it wasn't very large, only encompassing less than half of the palace, so it didn't trigger the golden array around the pill cauldron. Han Li's eyes narrowed slightly upon seeing this. During that battle between Feng Qiandu and Xiao Jinhan outside the High Zenith Palace, the spirit domain that he had unleashed had been nowhere near as formidable as this one, so it was clear that he had intentionally concealed his true power. In a rare display of animosity, the amicable smile on Luo Qinghai's face faded as he yelled in a furious voice, "What is the meaning of this, Feng Qiandu? Do you intend to take all of the High Zenith stage for yourself?" Immediately thereafter, a vortex of radiant blue light emerged around him, and it revolved incessantly while expanding outward, forming a blue spirit domain in the blink of an eye. Countless turbulent wave projections were churning throughout the entire spirit domain, and while it was inferior to Feng Qiandu's black spirit domain, the gap wasn't all that significant. In the face of the crashing blue waves, the black spirit domain was scattered a little. At the same time, Taoist Hu Yan and the elderly woman from the Southern Dawn race also unleashed their fiery spirit domains, and the combined power of the 3 spirit domains was instantly able to ward off the majority of the black spirit domain's power. As a result, the pressure on the other golden immortal stages present was significantly alleviated, and they immediately summoned a series of immortal treasures to launch a barrage of attacks at Feng Tiandu. Han Li also summoned an azure bamboo cloud swarm sword, and it swelled drastically in size before hurtling toward Feng Tiandu, alongside all of the other immortal treasures. Even though Han Li had refrained from unleashing the true power of his azure bamboo cloud swarm sword, it still wasn't inferior in the slightest, compared with all of the other immortal treasures. A cold sneer appeared on Feng Tiandu's face as he swept a sleeve through the air, and 16 thick black chains shot out of his body. All of the chains were riddled with countless tiny translucent runes of different shapes and forms, and they were giving off extremely formidable law power fluctuations. Feng Tiandu had unleashed these chains in the past, but as was the case with his spirit domain, these chains were far more formidable than the ones that he had previously displayed. The 16 chains glowed with dazzling black light as they swept through the surrounding area, and a string of resounding booms rang out as all of the oncoming immortal treasures were swatted away by the chains. As soon as the 16 black chains appeared, the entire black spirit domain immediately began to ripple and flash erratically, while rapidly becoming denser and more formidable. As a result, the 3 opposing spirit domains were quickly suppressed, and the restrictive power of the black spirit domain was significantly enhanced once again as it swept toward all of the surrounding golden immortals. Everyone felt as if there were a giant mountain weighing down upon them, making it extremely difficult to move. Your spirit domain has also reached the spirit form stage, Luo Qinghai exclaimed. Immediately thereafter, bright blue light emerged over his body as he flew toward a certain direction, and everyone else also quickly dispersed in different directions upon seeing this. Through that battle against Xiao Jinhan, they had all experienced just how formidable a spirit form stage spirit domain was, and to compound their woes even further, Feng Tiandu's spirit domain seemed to be far more formidable than Xiao Jinhan's. The only silver lining was that Feng Tiandu had kept his spirit domain very small in order to avoid triggering the restrictions around the pill cauldron, so it wouldn't take long to fly out of the spirit domain. Han Li swept a sleeve through the air to recover his azure bamboo cloud swarm sword, then flew away into the distance with radiant golden light shining from his body. At the same time, he was channeling his time law powers into his azure bamboo cloud swarm swords, and arcs of golden lightning sprang out of the sword, lashing out at the black spirit domain up ahead. Right at this moment, Jin Tong flew out of his body, then transformed into a millstone-sized golden beetle in the blink of an eye. With a sweep of its 2 front legs, a flurry of streaks of translucent light were unleashed. In the face of Han Li and Jin Tong's combined powers, a gash was torn into the black spirit domain up ahead, and the 2 of them immediately flew toward the opening. "You're not getting away!" Feng Tiandu harumphed coldly as he made a hand seal, and a pair of black chains appeared around his body amid a flash of black light. These were none other than the 2 origin separation law chains that he had sealed away. Han Li's expression changed drastically upon seeing this, and he immediately attempted to take evasive measures, but it was already too late. The pair of black chains shot forth like lightning, then wrapped themselves around him and Jin Tong, rendering both of them completely immobilized. With the emergence of these 2 origin separation law chains, the entire spirit domain began to ripple once again while becoming even denser. Right at this moment, all of the 16 black chains around Feng Tiandu shot forth in unison, then vanished into thin air in the blink of an eye. In the next instant, numerous black chains emerged throughout the entire black domain, and they intertwined with one another to form a cage of chains in the blink of an eye, trapping everyone inside. Each person had several chains wrapped around them, and they were like flies stuck on a cobweb. Luo Qinghai had been tied up by black chains like everyone else, but he remained calm and collected as he said, "I didn't think that your spirit domain would have already reached the spirit form stage, but there's no way that you can maintain this spirit domain for long before you exhaust all of your law powers. Do not be intimidated, everyone." As he was speaking, bright blue light erupted from his entire body, and countless blue wave projections emerged within the blue light, clashing against the surrounding black light. These origin separation law chains could seal their immortal spiritual power, but it was unable to completely seal their law powers. All of the other golden immortals were also instilled with a sense of calmness upon hearing this, and they began to unleash their respective law powers to resist against the black chains, causing the cage of black chains to tremble and rattle incessantly. As a result, Feng Tiandu's complexion paled slightly, but he then gave a cold harumph before expelling an egg-sized ball of blood essence out of his mouth. Immediately thereafter, several drops of blood essence flew into every single one of the black chains in the spirit domain at his behest. Bursts of black light surged over the cage of black chains with this injection of blood essence, and it was gradually stabilized. In the case of Xiao Jinhan, he had only been able to elevate his spirit domain to the spirit form stage using those 5 stone pillars. Due to the fact that external assistance was at play, his spirit domain had been a little weaker than a normal spirit form stage spirit domain. But at the same time, it also made the spirit domain less taxing on him to maintain. In contrast, Feng Tiandu was unleashing this spirit form stage spirit domain solely through his own power, and he was facing so many golden immortals at once, so this was extremely taxing on both his immortal spiritual power and his law powers. All of you are important figures in our northern glacial immortal region, and today you'll get to bear witness to my ascension to the high zenith stage. For that I will grant all of you a quick and painless death. Feng Tiandu declared as he continued to maintain his spirit domain. In your dreams, Feng Tiandu, even if I have to sacrifice the entirety of my cultivation base here, I won't let you have your way. Luo Qinghai roared in a furious voice. At the same time, he also expelled a mouthful of blood essence to bolster his spirit domain, expending a great deal of power in the process, and the black light on the surface of the cage of black chains began to flash erratically once again. Fellow Taoists, the high zenith pills are right in front of us. Are we just going to watch as Feng Tiandu takes them all for himself? I, for one, certainly won't just stand by and let him do as he pleases. Our Southern Dawn race will fight the Dawnfall sect to the death, the elderly woman yelled. Everyone else immediately sprang into action as well, redoubling efforts to free themselves from the black cage.